Alright, we are back on. Welcome everyone. Today marks the start of a new campaign, and it won't be XCOM again. This time we are going to play Battletech. Battletech is a video game adaptation of Mech Warriors rules and otherwise tactical combat. A lot of the elements in Battletech are directly inspired by by Mech Warrior rules, which means we are going to see a lot of mechanics, a lot of numbers, and a lot of names that we should know because we are obviously fans of the lore. Maybe not. However, for viewing pleasure, I'm gonna treat this very similar to an XCOM campaign. I am going to be playing every mission and then the meta layer part that comes after it, and also gonna explain my turns, trying to see where I've done mistakes or where I've pulled very good tactics or lucky numbers maybe. And then every time we are about to begin a new mission, we are gonna make a separate video so that whoever is watching this on YouTube can also enjoy the episodes in an orderly manner. Additionally, for your pleasure, I have skipped both the tutorial mission and the introductory mission because they have no modifications. They will run the same every single time. And it's really boring to watch or play over and over and over that part of the game. So let me dive right in, but we are going to call the Gatecrasher mission of Battletech campaign. Okay, so right up from the beginning we see that the UI is a lot more liberal in taking space in your screen. We are only left with what we could call like 3/4 of the screen, more or less, available for us. Second thing we notice is we have 4 people depicted here. One of them is me, always present. And as far as I know, as far as I have played, disclaimer, I have not finished the campaign, these are the 4 people that we are going to get. These are the maximum units that we can get. Of course, we can replace the drivers of the mechs, the pilots. We can replace the mechs themselves. But I've never seen an increase in squad size. But who knows? Maybe it's actually hidden behind options I have never unlocked yet. Okay, let's talk a bit about the controls in Battletech. Every unit has a combination of actions very similar to what XCOM tries to do. What I mean by this is that you can choose to move, you can choose to sprint, which is the equivalent of dash, or you can choose to attack. And if you choose to attack without moving, your turn will end. So shooting is a turn-ending action. And actually, all of the other possible actions that will show up here and that we'll talk about later, except jumping, are turn-ending. Actually, no, that's a lie. Okay, maybe I'll be more specific depending on the action. Most of them, there we go, 99% of them except one, will be turn-ending. Jump is very unique to Battletech in that we will be able to activate our thrusters that we may have installed on our mechs before and perform an aerial jump, which gives us a lot of options, especially climbing over impassable terrain or otherwise impassable terrain, jumping over our own mechs or to enemy mechs, and even attacking. And the differences between moving, sprinting, and jumping, it's not only in range, but also in how much heat they generate on our mechs. So this is a very valuable resource that you have to juggle throughout the entire mission. Very similar to reloading, if you want to look at it like that. You have to value using more or less weapons depending on the situation, and you may want to turn off some of the weapons equipped on you, take a shot only with a low heat consuming weapon, and be more ready for the next turn. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
There's also something very unique to Battletech, very different from XCOM, is that while we are not in combat, which means we have not encountered any enemies within our sensors, we will explain sensors as well, we may act completely out of order and at the same time and simultaneously with everyone. They still act within turns. You will see that now we'll go to round 2. Now anytime, yes, we have to press. Okay. Round 2, there we go. but at the beginning of the round everyone will be ready to act again. Okay, so what are sensors? Sensors are the first confirmation of pot triggering, if you want to call it like that, before combat is engaged, or before we acquire a visual. So if you reveal someone with your sensors, you will get a radar blip. There you can even see, I wish I could show. There we go. There you see the radar range or sensor range that this unit would have if it were to move up here. So if we detect someone with our sensors, we'll have different levels of information. The first one would be just a radar blip, which would indicate position. The second one would be to indicate if it's a vehicle or a mech, because tanks are very, very strong units in this game as well. And the third one would be the tonnage, or how heavy a unit is. This is a general indicator of the type of mech that we're fighting. But I want everyone to remember from here through the entire campaign, the tonnage does not indicate simply power. You can face absurdly strong light mechs or completely weak heavy mechs. Okay, with that being said, let's actually approximate some combat units so that we can see how engagements go. Okay, so combat has now begun.
You are trespassing on Majesty metals and manufacturing property and acting in collusion with a domestic terrorist organization. Cease your advance immediately, or you will be fired upon.
Okay, so we can ignore that warning because obviously we are required to do so. But now that we have had radar contacts, we can already start to imagine what we are going to encounter. I have obtained tier 1 information only on each of these. And as you can see, all I can see is that there are turrets, a mech, another mech, and another turret. And a turret generator. We'll speak about this very soon. Now that we have spotted an enemy, we are in what is called the surprise round. So all the other units that have not moved yet, if they were capable, they could engage and even attack. However, that is not the case. We cannot get in range. So what we're gonna do is ask everyone to hurry up and start moving. Okay. So we have now moved in, the surprise round is over, which means it's time for initiative. Initiative is an attribute assigned to every single vehicle, mech or whatnot, turret, that depends directly on which type of unit it is. Light mechs, as we see this one, are we gonna get shot? Yes. Nothing happened though. Light mechs get initiative 4. I think you can get 5 by using some abilities. For example, on a light mech, get +1 initiative. Medium mechs have an initiative of 3. This is the most common unit if you want, the assault rifle. And heavier mechs will be at 2 and 1. I think this is called heavy and this is called assault mechs. Turrets have a tendency to be on the last initiative because they are immobile, and vehicles tend to be between 1 and 2. Alright, so how does combat happen? Every unit has its initiative order. However, as a player, you can still choose to ask them to act later. So if I hit reserve right now, this unit, Decker, who has a light mech, this Spider Spy, the Spider light mech, will pass to initiative 3 and still not lose any of his current status effect, which is very, very important for tactics, and I would like to show you eventually how this works. So right now I'm going to reserve. This means this second enemy unit will be free to act, maybe even shoot at us. And you will ask yourself, but Baki, why are you passing your turn? And the answer is actually pretty simple. If I pass enough of my turns when we are at such a distance, I will force the enemy to get close to me in order to start attacking or moving, and I will be able to act closer to the end of the initiative line, and then at the beginning of the line I will be able to attack again, because as you remember, I have passed with one of my units when I was here. So I may get to do a double strike or something close to that. Okay, let's talk about combat now. Wow, there's so much to explain. I'm gonna try to make it short because we're gonna be exploring a lot of this during the campaign. There are three possible, let's call them status effects, that a mech may have. I'm gonna call defensive status effects. Let's go with that. I'm gonna call the first one evasion because the game tells you so. There's another one called guarded that you can see in the tooltip, and the last one is entrenched. Okay. When you have evasion, which is generated by moving or using your jump jet, it means that enemies have a harder time targeting you. However, for every shot that is aimed at you, you will lose 1 pip of evasion. So if you could translate this to XCOM and cover, it means that for every subsequent shot after you went to a cover piece, the cover will be less effective. This really solves the problem of shooters in tactical and cover itself, even though cover is available. Making things even harder for everyone. Okay, so accumulating evasion, very important in order to stay alive. If you do not have evasion pips, that means some of these units will be able to shoot straight at you with no aim penalty, and direct hits are usually pretty bad. Okay. Secondarily, there is guarded and entrenched. You may obtain these buffs through different means. Of course, you can also brace, which would mean that you're not shooting, but usually you try not to do that. As long as you're guarded, damage from the front and the side is reduced by 50% from range attacks, and as long as you're entrenched, you don't get hit by stability damage so hard. The health that you see here is divided in two. Something very reminiscent of Long War rather than the base XCOM. The white pips are armor points, and the gray pips, which turn to red when they are hurt, are health. So it means every part of my mech, as you can see here, is armored with a certain armor value. We get to see the total here, but if this part, for example, loses its 60 points of armor, it will get directly hurt on the health bar. So this is more of an indicator rather than a general sense, because we may kill a unit by just damaging 2 pips, for example, or not even damaging the armor. Everything is possible in this game. Okay, so the objective is somehow go through the armor and damage the internal components of the enemy. Good. Now that we know that, we need to take care of some of the things that are related to weapons. Each particular weapon that we see here has an optimal range, ammunition maybe, a heat value, which is how much heat are they going to generate, and of course the resulting damage value and stability damage value. So if a weapon hits, maybe actually I can talk while playing, otherwise I'm gonna bore you all. Go here, like here.
Firing jump jets.
So we use the jump jets. I already know that this unit has a very good hit sink, which means I can use the jump jets often. So if you guys check around, whenever I tap target, we see absolutely different values for the hit probability, even for each weapon. So you see everything here is 80, which is the maximum I can attain with this unit. 80 again. This one has some protection, this one has a similar protection. This one is guarded, this one is also guarded. So you see there's conditions for everything. Right now I have some weapons equipped that are completely different in its use, which means they probably won't be effective at the same time all on the same target. For example, right now I can see that if I target this guy, shooting the long-range missiles may be a waste. Maybe. I'll still try to use them. Our ammunition is pretty large, and I know the mission, so using it is just an extra. So now that we have seen what we can target, I can already decide if I want to go for any of these targets, or if I want to instead just brace and try to survive a turn, find a better position. I already can see as well what weapons these units have available. For example, this one has 2 medium lasers, this one has 1 billion missiles, this one has a ton of cannons, long-range cannons. I can I can tell by the type of weapon that they are, and so does this. So at this point, since I know I'm gonna get hit by some of these towers, I think I will try to take them out. Towers have extremely low hit points, so as soon as you can get through their armor, through any of the 3 parts of armor, they will be destroyed. And since we have very good accuracy against stationary targets, let's shoot at them and see how it goes. That looks good. 1 turret is down, and we have avoided 1 return fire possibility. Good. So let's see who else is available to help us. Ah, excellent. I can give a little bit more of examples here. Or maybe I go here. Okay, very tempting. Okay, so more information. When you are about to move, you can already see which lines of sight will be available to you from that position. I really wish XCOM had done something as visible as this. Pretty clear. And if I can get to this turret generator and destroy it, I'll be able to completely negate the turrets themselves. So all the turrets will explode that are linked to this turret generator. This would save me a lot of turns and a lot of hassle. So I wonder right now who all is able to go after this building. How about from... Maybe? Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so we're gonna move over here. Can we even jump? Yes, we can jump even further. Oh, I like this. Let's jump over here, which is very close. Some weapons are very bad in close range. Close range? That's why moving over here makes perfect sense.
Copy that.
So we'll take a jump over here, put the building in sight, and once we see the building, we can see how much health it has. 100 health. Right now I can hit it with potentially 50 damage. I would like to go for that.
Taking the shot.
We missed 1 hit. That's very bad. Only 25 damage. I'll need to do some real damage to it if I want to bring it down. So, what can we do? If I go here, I see the building. If I go here, I see it with an obstruction. So let's move over here. And let's see what weapons we can aim at this building. The PPC, okay, so some weapons can be completely outranged, which means they are not even worth firing. The system thankfully does it automatically for us. But I still see I can deal, what, 20 and 70, so, damn it, so 70 damage maximum. Let's assume we hit with everything. That sounds interesting. PPC hits, everything else hits. Now it's down to 5 HP. So it is in my maximum interest to destroy this thing. That's why we're gonna move over here. That's so much spent on making this a kill. But I guess that is fine. Okay, so we move. We put the building in sights. We go. And only our long range cannons are able to shoot. So that's what we do. We hit. The building is destroyed, which means all these turrets that were here are now dead. Which, as you can see, was a very important thing to do. Okay, so we made sure that everyone that moved got armor pips, evasion pips.
I'm gonna need a medic.
As we can see, it was quite important to get them because even from melee range, we dodged, so to speak, some of the hits. Sadly, we got insanely unlucky just to begin the role that we're kinda used in XCOM. Whenever any ammunition is shot, it has a 1% chance to hit you in the head. And if you get hit on the head, your pilot loses health. If the pilot loses all his health, he will be incapacitated or probably killed, which is pretty bad. So we already see, first shot, extremely lucky, the enemy has hurt us already. So what can we do? In addition to range attacks, every mech is capable of melee attacks. And melee attacks are great for many reasons. One, they have their own chance to hit and it's independent of cover or guard or any other statistic that the enemy has. So pilots can dedicate themselves to melee attacks. 2, if they hit, so 90% chance right now, if they hit, they eliminate all evasion pips and they remove the guard status, which is insane if you're going to focus on an enemy unit. And finally, they generate movement. If you are moving, that means you also get your own evasion pips up, which is pretty good. And wow, that's quite a list. And if you have the type of weapon called support, your mech will fire your support weapons on the melee target as well. Usually support weapons are very, very short range, like flamethrowers, like machine guns. So activating them on a melee strike makes them vastly superior. Okay. Oh, also melee attacks are concentrated on its damage in a single part, which means it could be extremely effective or maybe even a one-shot kill to use them. Punch goes, it hits. A structure has been exposed, which probably means that like the arm or something got damaged. They attack, they miss. This is what we expected from the first attack as well. Okay, I can even check. For example, with Becky, I go to the unit. There we go. That was me. That was the wrong place to look at. Okay, so I've already seen that we hit the torso. If the torso is destroyed, the pilot takes an injury and the arm is lost. So continuing to hit the torso would make short work of this enemy unit. Or never mind. You know what? We're gonna attack. We have removed the cover status from him. We have removed the evasion pip. That means a complete alpha strike. This is what's called an alpha strike. Using all your weapons could absolutely destroy this enemy unit, especially because we are attacking from the angle that has already been hurt. So we fire all our weapons. One of them misses. Fine. We have damaged a lot of the parts. However, this really means that we did no lasting damage. This is only injuries if you want to compare it to XCOM, but none of the abilities of this unit have been lost.
Receiving you.
So what can we do? This unit could go attacking melee, and if I remember correctly, this unit is extremely strong in melee. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you guys another one of the melee abilities, which is Death from Above. Death from Above is a combination of using your jump jets to fall on top of the enemy unit. And while you can see in the bottom right, the FA, the damage is insane, the chance to hit is kinda low, and the reason why there's a red 140 is because we are hitting ourselves for that amount as well. However, trust me, if you hit 140 on anything at one point, you will simply destroy it. So here we go.
Death from above.
I would not usually use this on a light mech, but I want to show you guys that we have now done the jump from above. We have destroyed something, I think one of the legs. We have knocked the mech down. We have pushed the pilot we have dealt damage to the pilot. And we have pushed the mech down one in initiative order. So all of these things come from jumping on them and snapping them. So this actually gives me a perfect moment to show you guys what you can do when an enemy unit has been downed. So you can see already downing very effective. If units are downed, you are able to perform cold shots. Cold shots are basically a thing you can aim at and simply execute on the enemy. For example, you can already see here this. If I shoot right now as normal, there is a 1% chance to hit the head, and then there's some percent chances to hit everywhere else, and so on. However, if I aim at a specific location, I can increase the chance to hit there by 50%. This is huge. If you can concentrate your fire on a single spot, and if that spot is deadly, you're simply gonna delete the enemy. And in this particular case, it's a shame I'm too close for the PPC to have a good hit chance, but everything else is fine. I'm going to go for the center torso. If any mech loses its center torso or the head, they're instantly dead. No questions asked. If you manage to snipe the torso away from a mech, it is dead. So what can I see here? It has 40 pure health and 20 armor remaining. That means it is more than possible for my weapons to destroy it. So let's take this shot. Okay, apparently we didn't hit completely, but we still got some really good hits in. Now the round will pass. Reinforcements show up on another side of the map. And we'll start a new round. Since we were the last ones to play, the new round gives the initiative advantage to the enemy, which means even if we both have light units, he will get to use his first. But the damage dealt by it was really minimal. Okay, so we can now use our own light mech, who is ready for action, and we could just simply try to finish them off. Okay, oh wow. So we dealt almost the entire amount of damage that we needed to deal to this unit. Sadly, 4 HP remaining. Let's try to put the weapons again on the center torso and see if we can get a kill. Center torso destroyed. There you go. We even got an achievement. I don't know what it is. Destroy 50 light mechs. Okay, so the rest of my gameplay time counts. The enemy has still initiative, which means it is still activated. And as you can see right now, missiles can be fired with indirect fire as long as anyone has squad sight or the equivalent of squad sight. But that's okay. Just one volley of missiles, tiny missiles, is not enough to just destroy you. However, you can make a very specific type of mech into an indirect fire destroyer.
Standing by.
Which I plan to do sometime in this campaign. Okay, so remembering that this unit has an insane melee power, 85 points of damage, holy shit. We are going to move behind this mech and attack. So mechs from the rear have less armor, and we hit the center torso straight ahead. 85 damage to center torso, that means immediate death. Another advantage of melee attacks is that they consume 0 heat, at least so far, which means they are great in order to have a useful turn and still relieve some of that heat. Okay, now it's time to turn around and start going for these other two. Height superiority is a thing. It enables easier shots, and that's why we are going to go for it. In this preview, you can already see that just moving this far is going to drop heat by so much because we are not using any weapon. So you can juggle with activation or deactivation of weapons when you see that, in order to ensure that you will be able to act next turn. I could actually already start here. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, I'm gonna move up here, and maybe I'll try to destroy one of the tanks. Yeah, so again, tanks, they have some very good armor, but then their entire health pool is very low. So let's try to destroy them. I get a warning, overheat alert. If you're overheated, you are above 60% of your heat maximum. And if you overheat between this point and 100%, you will receive structural damage. So you'll have to repair regardless, but you're still okay. If you hit 100%, you will receive the damage, and then you will stun yourself for 1 turn. So it can be done for an absolute necessity to make sure that the enemy doesn't destroy you back, but be very cautious with this. It will mean that you will take some internal damage because of the overheat, and you will be disabled for 1 complete turn. Okay, so I know for sure that lasers cost extra energy compared to cannons, so I can leave the cannons on. And depending on where your weapons are mounted, you may have aim benefits. So I will check on all the lasers that have that I think are mounted on the arms. I believe that's where they are. Yeah, arm mounted -1. This is not arm mounted. Okay, so minus in this case, it's better. So the arm mounted lasers are more accurate. So I'm going to use them. I'm going to be left at a very hefty amount of heat, but we can deal with that problem later. Right now, I want to kill this tank.
Engaging target.
Oh, so this 2 misses. Our attack was almost futile, and this is pretty bad. Alright,
Waiting for orders.
let's bring the rest of our units into play. We can jump all this way over here, that's amazing.
Firing jump jet.
And this unit only has 2 melee attacks, sorry, 2 medium lasers. So it means its heat does not accumulate that much compared to other units. Okay, so we will attack you. Beautiful. As soon as we penetrate the armor of tanks, they'll usually go up in flames.
Vehicle destroyed.
And this makes our life a lot easier. The enemy mech moves. It is a medium mech, so we should be careful with this one. But our units are hiding in the forest, which gives them cover, which means they take less damage.
Blown past my armor.
And additionally, we still have our pips of evasion. So I do not want to move Bakira yet, because there's another tank over here. And if I choose to move him now, he will lose his pips of evasion unless I run away. But if I do that, then I cannot attack, and so on, and so on.
What can I do for you?
So we're gonna use glitch and see if there's any range of attack where we can go straight for the tank. Don't think I will find any because that guy is hiding pretty well. I could also, you know what? We could also force the tank to show himself, or do nothing. That's completely an option. Okay, so he chose to go further into the ravine, which means he won't be able to shoot at us, but we won't be able to shoot at him. And you know what? That's fine by me,
Orders.
because I have a light mech to kill. So the light mech did not move, which is very bad for them. That means we are gonna be able to use our long-range missiles to hit it.
Confirmed.
Shoot. We deal some damage. It's irrelevant if it's much or
I
not.
hear ya.
But every single bit helps. And now we can jump right in front of it, since this unit has somewhat short-range units attacks, except these two that are also pretty strong. Why is this off? Okay, the short laser is insanely close. It's like 90 meters. I think that's 1 hextile. Okay, so we take the shot. The PPC, an insanely good weapon. Let's hope it hits. Hits the leg. Deals a very hefty chunk of damage. Good. Okay, finally, as we mentioned, we have Bakira. If we do not move, we're gonna be open for the next round. Okay, we can make some choices here. I can show you guys a few of the available tricks. Oh, did the torso already lose that much armor? That's very good. Okay, there's something called Precision Strike. If you accumulate morale, you're gonna be able to use special types of attacks. Precision Strike consumes morale in order to give you an aim shot, a call shot, sorry. Or Vigilance counts as if you had used Brace, but still allows you to shoot. This is also pretty important in order to be defensive. Additionally, it gives you 1 initiative for the next round. So if I use this right now, I'll be able to not only gain the benefits of Guard and Trenched, which in this particular point are useless, but I will also gain 1 initiative which I can use next round to make sure I go before this unit moves. So let's shoot. Normal shot this time. Wow, that's a miss. That's a hit. That's a hit. But we break absolutely nothing. Fair enough. We are still in a very decent position. So right now we can use the mobility of our units to start spreading the damage out. Our light mech able to just jump behind the enemy, and oh, he will overheat. Maybe I moved too much. That's my bad. Now we can shoot the enemy from behind, where armor is a lot weaker. But still, the attack is so light that it doesn't have the effect we desire. Okay, so what can we do right now? We could spend another charge of Vigilance. Make sure that if we get attacked, not too bad. I could also just jump away, and then for this turn, go somewhere else. Or, we could go forward. So what I can do right now is try to hit it so hard with my death from above attack. Can I do it? Apparently not. Are we literally like one tile out of range? That would be super bad. Okay. Okay, slight error in judgment. So in that case, maybe we do a precision strike. You know what? No, I like vigilance. It's gonna give us more turns of time, and I'm okay with that. Okay. Still, I turn off 2 weapons so that we have good shots, but still don't consume too much heat. We shoot. Oh, we miss again our strongest shots. That's so bad.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Okay, so we dealt some damage, but still it did nothing special. The mech will get to act. We really wanted to knock it down or something similar to that. That would have been good. However, it has decided that it needs absolutely to be a little bit more protected than it was.
Good to go.
Which is terrible for him,
Waiting on you, Commander.
because our units will be able to attack. As always, action economy a thing in tactical games, and this is no exception. We're gonna use death from above, even though we have very low chances to hit. But in addition, we will be able to activate all lasers. That's pretty good.
No sweat.
Let's hope we hit, otherwise we take damage for nothing. God, we missed. Did we really miss? Okay, so we missed with the melee attack, but the laser attack hit. The laser attack hit the leg, and the leg gave it enough stability damage that it fell down and took the initiative damage. Additionally, losing your balance means that you will no longer contain any evasion charges. So that means this unit is now free for shooting.
Waiting for orders.
So if that's the case, let's find a favorable position. And take a nice shot at the torso.
Here it comes.
Good shot. It's already revealed, which means it won't have long until it is destroyed. So let's take a move over here.
Moving out.
Let's see if we can fire both our weapons. Yes, without overheating. That's beautiful.
All weapons are go.
Dealt some damage, still no distraction. That's a bit of a shame. Again, my turn. And apparently all I can do is move over here. And maybe we'll turn off the cannons. Oh, you know what? They don't spend a lot of heat. So we aim again for the torso.
Engaging target.
And there we go. Torso destroyed. That's a kill. Other kill conditions are to destroy both legs. If both legs are destroyed, the mech is also considered destroyed. Or to get enough head hits or torso hits that eventually, so side torso hits, that eventually the pilot falls unconscious. If that's the case, the game, the mech is also considered destroyed. Let's show up here, try to see if we can destroy this tank before it can do anything to us. We can use all our weapons, we don't care. Wow, that's a miss. Structure barely exposed, but it won't take too long before we kill it.
Location
We
confirmed.
move over there, drop some missiles.
Engaging.
Barely hit. Super sad.
Yes,
And
Commander.
let's see if our light unit can finish this off for us.
Position confirmed.
There's a line to my target. This will be the statue equivalent in XCOM, so we'll make sure to destroy that very
Roger
soon.
that.
Again, the hits went to a new part with armor. That's bad. The enemy gets to act. I really didn't want that. I hope he doesn't deal too much damage to me. That would be bad. That was some damage. Okay.
Structural
This will.
damage.
As soon as you get structural damage, it's like taking health damage in XCOM. That means we will have to repair that unit. And we don't want to overheat, thank you very much. But we only shoot with the cannons.
Engaging
Boom.
target.
Vehicle destroyed.
Enemy unit destroyed.
We are now ready to continue. Okay, so combat has been exit. That means I get to move for free. However, I still have things to do. We order this guy to move. We order this guy. Come over here. Actually, you know what? No, you're going to defend. There's someone that can attack for free.
On the
It's the
move.
behemoth. Sorry, the spider and the behemoth. They have very low heat.
Got it.
Apparently, I dashed with the behemoth. That's why
Locked on target.
he didn't want to attack. But that's okay. No enemies means we get to move for free.
Standing by.
Great job, Commander.
We do some damage over there.
Alliance platform.
But the mission is not over. We are requested to fall back to our contractors. Regarding the story of Battletech in particular,
Location confirmed.
I may have skipped it because you guys didn't get to see
Right, Commander.
the intro. But what you have to know is that we belong in a sort of kingdom or stellar kingdom of many planets.
What's up, boss?
And we were trained by a
Affirmative.
smart pilot called, I even forgot his name. And this pilot was
On my
also
way.
at the same time the guard of the to-be queen of the kingdom
to
once
position.
the king fell. So the princess, basically. And what happened is that on Coronation Day we were participating in a patrol with this woman as well, with the princess, and we got attacked. It turned out the uncle wanted to create a
Waiting for
dictatorship and thought
Good to
he
go.
should be the one in charge. And he got it.
Position
So we
confirmed.
barely got to escape. Our mentor sacrificed himself in order to allow us to escape. But sadly all was for naught. The princess was shot down and the coup was successful, which means they now govern a long part of the galaxy.
Stabilizing.
A large part of the galaxy. However, some mercenaries found us in an escape pod because we were ejected thanks to our mentor. And since they had known our mentor before, they decided to help us stay alive, but offered us at the same time the job of being a mercenary. So we took it on, and now 3 years later, we are the commanding unit of these mercenaries. So basically, we're mercenaries trying to amass some money in order to pay the bills, because apparently we have many bills unpaid. So here we are, coming back
I copy.
to our client, and what you would see right now if you were to play is that our contractor is refusing to pay, but instead threatening us if we don't leave the planet without our pay. However,
Good to go.
we are not okay with that. That's why we'll try to destroy all of these units as well. You know,
Firing.
we don't discriminate, we kill everyone equally. We go first for the building for obvious reasons. We are surrounded by towers, and that's not cool. But there's also some vehicles to take care of. Luckily, we still have some pips of evasion. It's gonna help us not take much damage. Let me show you something cool. Okay, so our commander will learn different. Give me a second, please. Our avatar will learn different things depending on what we train them into. But right now, our base units have some abilities to show. The first ability that I'm gonna show, it's multi-target, and I am going to go for it. And second, there we go. And the use of multi-target is actually pretty cool. So with multi-target, you're able to literally target as many things as you have in sight. I think up to 3. And once you do so, for example, I designated A and B. I can tell the computer how I want the damages divided. For example, I know this building has 50 HP, which means I should really try to destroy it. But I can also choose choose to aim the PPC at the unit that is further away. Let me check. I think this has better chances, right? 55. But then every missile is calculated individually, and I only need 1 to hit, assuming this 2 hit. So I'm gonna divide them like this. I'm gonna shoot.
Affirmative.
And the good thing about dividing your power is not only that you make more effective shots, is that shooting... Wow, that was a very good shot. Shooting at an enemy that has evasion pips, even if it is with the lamest weapon and the shot goes super far, you will still remove a pip. That means you can effectively remove the pips of 3 units if you have 3 weapons and 3 targets available. And that's very close to suppression if you want.
Orders.
That's very interesting. At least I think so. Okay, so we want to continue destroying these tanks, and we know where the 2 of them are thanks to our sensors. So we will rush ahead, step on their buildings because we don't care about them anymore, and now have a completely destructive aim at this and take the shot. Okay, our cannon shot penetrated the armor, and then the laser got the kill.
Enemy vehicle eliminated.
Very effective, very good kill. And finally, let's make a heroic appearance with us. I believe I need to take some distance. How about here? Yes, that sounds good.
Engaging jump jets.
We turn on all our weapons and we alpha strike.
Committed.
That should be a kill. There we go. Mission is complete. We have taken minor damage, however Decker got decked in the head. Haha. And there's really not much story at the beginning. Basically what I will be informed about is that if these contracts continue to pay so low, we're probably gonna run out of money. And if we run out of money, we lose. At the end of every mission, you will get to see the objectives, and if some of the secret objectives or side objectives have special rewards, we'll also see them here. However, this time we got paid 0 and we found 0 loot, so not good. We can also see a status report of our mechs. The bars here indicate that we'll need to repair them. Our guys got experience for what they did. I think the kills distribution is irrelevant to the experience gained, which is pretty good. I think total kills is what matters. But sadly, one of our units got injured in a 1% shot, just like always. And that means he needs to take a month of vacations. Alright. So we continue. We now move on to the meta layer. This seems to have taken quite long for an introductory video, but I hope it was good. And now we can take a look at the meta layer. The meta layer is, I'm gonna say, a bit complex on itself, especially for people that are not used to the mech layer, the mech warrior layout and expected knowledge. But I'm gonna try to guide you through it and more as we go on with the campaign. Okay, so right now people are talking to me, trying to say, hey, how about we take on some real jobs, because clearly going through the official board not working. So they're asking me as the new commander, what are we gonna do? And we're now speaking that certified contracts can get us betrayed, so we might as well play outside the law ourselves. Means getting non-sanctioned contracts. I have not experienced more betrayal yet, but I guess it could be a thing that happens. But right now, it seems to be our only option to start taking jobs that are not legally published. But I guess this is the normal gameplay expected of us. Okay, so we have a menu, we have a time, and we have the events. This should feel very similar to everyone that has played XCOM. We even have some information of how good our med bay and our mech bay are. These points we can increase over time. We also see that the time doesn't pass unless we tell it to, and that our unit, our Decker, will take a month of vacation. This happens to me very often, which is why usually I end up replacing him. just because, I don't know, he's unlucky. I cannot even tell. And additionally, there will be an end-of-month financial report. And you can see here an avatar tracker type of thing. However, getting more of these pips is actually a good thing, because as soon as we hit 0, the campaign is lost, your debts cannot be paid anymore, and this is pretty bad. Okay, but enough about this. Let's see what awaits us everywhere else. We could technically go and talk to all NPCs, learn more about the backgrounds, but that's really not something I want to show right now. So what we're gonna do is start repairing our mechs. Repair has a money cost and a day cost, which means that for 4 days, we are absolutely not gonna be able to go to any mission at all, and we won't. Actually, you know what? I could take only 1 day. I will explain shortly. So while this is happening, that means they will be unavailable. Therefore, I cannot use the spider for 4 days, but we have a second, I think more preferred by me, light mech, there we go. So what can we do for anything else that does not need repairs? What we can do is go into any of them and ask our mech guys to completely refit what is available on the mech. For example, this mech has some weapons installed, and there are 2 support weapons and 1 normal long-range weapon, which is kinda cool. But we can already see this mech itself could carry 3 support weapons. That means, sure, melee attacks might be super lame because this mech is light, 20 tons is not a lot compared to others. But whenever we do a melee attack, we'll also be attacking with 3 different weapons at the same time. And these weapons are pretty destructive in melee range. We see here 15 damage with optimal range already, 15 damage as well. So we would get the melee attack, let's say 20 damage. I really don't know how to read this yet, or if the information is available somewhere else. Plus 50 damage over here, and remember they tend to go to similar places. Okay, so if we were to replace that with, for example, a weapon that we don't have, so we're not gonna do that right now, we could put like triple flamethrower, and then all melee attacks would be followed by 3 flamethrower attacks, and flamethrower attacks deal very little damage, however they deal a ton of heat, and if you remember, heat equals stun, because any unit that has been overheated has to shut down for the entire turn. So we could easily create a light mech that is based on disabling the enemy by using the flamer. And I really want to give that a try. I don't know if it will work, but it sounds absolutely funny. Okay, let's return. Discard changes because I don't think I did any. What else can we do? This mech I like as it is. It has really a very good mix between long range and medium range, and this unit is very good at it. But this one, my god, this one is all over the place. So it has long range missiles, short range missiles, medium laser, and I believe something somewhere else. And the fact is, it's capable of so many different options that I am always inclined in modifying how this unit is equipped. Simple example, I could be using a large laser and a long range 10 missile, which carries more missiles than the long range 5. I believe it shoots 4 times 10, yeah, here it is. That means we could deal 80 damage with just 2 weapons instead of using 3 weapons to deal even less damage. 3 or 4 weapons, I don't know. However, right now I don't seem to have all the options available. That makes me kinda sad. Also, I could reconsider, instead of using long range weapons, because this unit goes to melee so much, I could use a support weapon and maybe some long range missiles that we can use while we are still far away. So I'm very interested in refitting this unit because there's better setups for it than the ones at the beginning. But okay, let's assume that we are happy with what we have. Before we go anywhere, we can visit our mech warriors and see how much experience they have accumulated. I have now enough to buy my first ability. You will be able to see that each Mech Warrior has 4 possible attributes: Gunnery, Piloting, Guts, and Tactics. All of these have passive attributes as soon as you increase them. For example, if I go here, or here, even here, I believe. Oh, yeah, there we go. And reaching the 5th point enables the first, I don't even know what they're called, abilities, traits, whatever. Some of them are active, some of them are passive. And any one unit is only allowed to have 2 abilities of tier 1 and 1 ability of tier 2. This doesn't mean that you cannot progress on all trees, but as soon as I pick, let's say, this, and this pip will transform into the basic single passive bonus, so +1 health or something similar to that. So I can no longer grab Bulwark as it is written here. So it's important to plan, but also know that you can continue to improve your guys up to every single point to the max. Maybe that's not possible, I don't know, but it looks possible. In the case of myself, I would like to go with multi-targeting, especially with my mech. With so many weapons available, I can easily direct 2 lame ones to other targets and remove their pips, or maybe spread the damage equally between 2 vehicles and destroy them both. All is possible. It's confirmed for now.
Receiving you.
This unit has already one of its big abilities and is accumulating experience in order to gain further advances. We could go for piloting. We could go for Juggernaut. One is maybe good because it means we always knock enemies down 1 initiative pip, and this unit is very good at punching. Punching, however, is a skill that comes with piloting, so we may have to increase, like for example, up to here, and then continue on the piloting tree. Guts increases naturally how much heat you can accumulate, and additionally you get some bonuses like no recall penalty or -1, and additional health for the injuries.
Commander?
In the case of glitch, I believe it's the same situation. Yes, we don't have anything to assign right now.
Waiting for orders.
And in the case of this unit, I could go for piloting. It allows a light unit to accumulate to accumulate evasive charges like crazy. I think up to 5 with just a single move. That's just crazy, or a jump. I could also go for guts, except we rarely stand still with a light unit. That's very dangerous. What I like to go for is tactics, because it would allow this unit to, for example, use sensor lock, and sensor lock is a very tricky ability that allows you to lower the evasive charges on a target and also make it visible even through line of sight blockage. That means everyone with missiles will be able to shoot at that unit. So what do I go for? Maybe piloting. But piloting always a good reward, because acquiring 1 additional pip, no matter how much we move, is very good. Let's take it. Also increases our chances of melee hit.
Training confirmed.
Maybe that's what we want to do. Okay. Additionally, we can go to the overview again and try to hit the store. Maybe find some cool stuff. For example, we can find salvage for mechs. In this game, you need to accumulate 3 parts of a mech in order to restore it. You cannot just go ahead and buy it. We could buy flamers. I like this. Can we have flamer ammo? Is that a thing? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna buy 1 flamer.
New weapon systems available.
And then I'm going to go to the bay, and I'm going to check if I put the flamer here instead of this. Beautiful. So flamers do not need ammo, and they don't produce heat to me. That's just crazy. That is crazy. I love this idea. Okay, so you know what, guys? We're gonna try new stuff and then suffer the consequences, whatever that means. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to go to the store again. I'm gonna buy 3 flamers, so 2 more. Flamer.
New weapon systems available.
Flamer. I'm also gonna buy some long-range missiles.
New weapon systems available.
And what else do we need? But if we don't need ammo, we have enough of that. Right. The other guy. What did he use in the end? Did medium lasers? Yeah. So we're gonna buy 1 more medium laser.
New weapon
Just to have enough.
Available.
Okay. Then we're gonna go to the mech bay, and we're gonna ask this mech to be refit. Removing this, removing this, removing this, this, and we're gonna put 3 flamers. Love it. I have no idea if this is gonna work, but I already love it. And now that 3 flamers are in, we have 0 tons remaining. That means we are balanced once again, and we can just go with this. I like it. We order it, we get told it takes 6 days to get it ready. We are okay with 6 days.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Okay, now we are able to go to the contracts, which is the way you acquire new missions. And we can already see that the only contract available is to go into a planet, wherever it is. And we already see that to get there will need to take 12 days, which means already we have 12 obligatory days of wait time, which means all our mechs will be available. Not our guy, but the mechs. Cool. Now that we see that, we go to negotiate our contract. So as mercenaries, we are able to choose what type of rewards we want to have. And the way the system works is that there is a maximum possible money, maximum possible salvage, and then a reputation bonus that you can obtain with the faction if you choose not to obtain the maximum of those rewards. Normally you are balanced at half, half, and 0. So in a contract like this, I already see that the numbers are low in every direction, and if I remember correctly, we will get access to a lot of money very soon. So I'm thinking either I want to take some salvage, I will explain how this is distributed, or I will just take the reputation, because this may affect us for the entire campaign rather than these tiny numbers. Okay, salvage. If you want to take salvage at the end of a mission, things will show up in a list, and depending on these 2 scores are how much you can recover out of it. The first number indicates selected salvage, and the second number is randomized salvage out of the remains. So for example, if I go like this, 1, 4, I'll be able to select 1 piece and collect up to 4 once the one is selected, completely random. And the reason why I'm gonna go with this choice is because I cannot obtain a second chosen one, and I would like to ensure that I'm grabbing, for example, a mech part, something that I can use later in order to build my own mech or restore a mech out of nowhere. Cool. So we accept the contract as it is. We will gain 4 reputation. I have no idea how we're gonna use that, but it's much better than just a few thousand monies. 1,000 monies is not much money. We'll also get to observe some animations depending on how we're traveling. We're now doing the docking on the FTL type of mechanism, and the FTL takes a few days to boot up, and then boom, off we go. Oop. Then we arrive at our destination and we release. We move towards our planet. So while this is happening, the counter of the days is not on, but these are kind of like obligatory animations that they want us to watch. Okay. While this time passes, there will be events. In this case, the event is that the banks that loaned us money, that are actually not really nice, would like to trick us into having to pay more money or to be able to lose the ship. And we will have 3 different options with 3 different outcomes. I feel like ignoring us makes it worse, educating them will make it super bad, I would like to sweet talk the banks, and the results of them will eventually happen. Sorry, will eventually lead to a resolution. In this case, our loan status has been changed to fair, which means nothing crazy will happen to us, and they will not send bounty hunters to catch us. I guess that's pretty good. We continue with the timer.
That work order you submitted?
All the jobs on our mechs are done, which means we get to take our new mech. But we don't want to use the only 3 days remaining in order to modify one of the other mechs. Maybe we can. I don't know. I can check. I can go here, for example, or here rather. PPC, jump jets. Yes, correct. I can go to this one. I see the PPC already, which is an amazing thing. I can put this over here. I can remove the medium, the small, put another medium. I can remove the missiles. And still we have some tonnage ready, which is cool because I can go to the equipment and grab 2 heat sinks and place them there. Okay, so now we see we equipped our guy with a lot of lasers, and we put some heat sinks in order to keep using the lasers consistently. I removed the missiles because I really don't think they do a ton of damage. They do some very good stability damage, but it's not what I'm looking for right now. And I still have some half a ton remaining, which means we get to prop up our armor. We put some here, and then we put some here. That's too much. How about one less, one less, one less? There we go. So if we ask for this, it's gonna take what? It's gonna take 12 days. So we refuse to do this change just now. We absolutely look forward to doing it in the future. Okay, so we go back to the ship. You know what? Maybe we can do a tiny one. The Vindicator. Oh, on the Shadow. Yeah, the Shadow Hawk. So what happens if we want to remove alarm 5? Put alarm 10. Is this too crazy? Yes. Remove the laser. Remove the tiny missiles. Okay, so this would work. However, 7 days. Game. We cannot do it in time. Let's do this the next time we have to travel and we don't have anyone hurt. But we can now continue to pass the 3 days. That's sad. We go to the point, we get to proceed, but this would initiate the mission. That's why, just like always, I'm going to cut the stream and we're going to come back to this later. See you soon.